Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, or good night. It is me, Life of Jovial, aka Jovial19, or just simply Jovial. And as you're wondering by the title, when did Urushi really like Ayumu or started to like Ayumu? Wouldn't that be an easy question to ask or to answer? Because when you think about that, I can tell that you are gonna answer one of the two chapters. But before I continue about that, or what chapters are those, be sure to like this video and like my other videos, watch my other videos, and subscribe. And I have more videos about Soredemo Ayumu and upcoming videos about different topics in the future. And be sure to subscribe to my other channel, Jovial19, and follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Jovial19, because I'll be playing more Pokemon Unite from now on. And stick around at the end of the video because I might tell you an easier channel that you might subscribe to. Now let's dive on in, shall we? Well, if you're gonna ask me what chapter, I'm not telling you in an instant because I'm predicting your answers first, or what you might think the right answer is. And it's not just something easy like chapter 108 or chapter 69. And those are the two chapters that I want to talk about first. And you know why I come to the two conclusions? Because I made the question on the Soredemo Ayumu Yosetekuru Facebook group. Those are the two most popular answers. Not that many people commented anyways, but the thought is there that it's common, the school trip arc and chapter 69 on chapter 108. But wouldn't one of those answers be right? Aren't you just gonna tell me, oh Jovial, it's for chapter 108 because Urushi said herself that she likes Ayumu, Would it not be an easy question? Why would you make a video about it if that's easy? Well, no. That's not the answer. And I wouldn't make this video anyway if it were that easy. And I'm gonna debunk why chapter 108 is not the right answer in chapter 69. Chapter 108 first. If you look at the context of the chapter, you're just missing something. You're just missing some few tiny details. Yes, she said she liked Ayumu, but on that context, she just realized she likes Ayumu. Realized, not when she had a crush on him. So, chapter 108, no. But before I continue, I'm gonna cancel out some answers, some chapters, moving on forwards. So, chapter 109 and forwards, no. And I'm gonna cancel out some early chapters. Chapters 68 and earlier. Those are the wrong answers. I'm supposed to say 60, but 68, I'm just being generous. But so that leaves us with chapters 69 to 107. Which one of those chapters is it? Well, why did people answer chapter 69 anyways? Well, chapter 69 is a little backstory on Ayumu's first year, or first few days on the school. They were gonna go sign with the Kendo Club, but suddenly the flyer flew on Ayumu's face, and then that beautiful scene happened. This gif. But it's Ayumu's moment. It's not Urushi's realization. It's Ayumu's realization that he might like Urushi, or he likes somewhat of a love at first sight, but not really, because love takes time. Insert that clip from Steven Universe.
Love at first sight doesn't exist. Love takes time and love takes work. At the very least, you have to know the other person, and you literally have no idea who or what I am.
So, chapter 69 is wrong. And what are the right answers? What is my right answer? But to be honest, I'm not quite confident that this is the right answer, but I am quite confident that this might be the answer. There's a difference. You know, just analyze that sentence properly. So what are my theory? What is my theory? Well, unless you like me, a somewhat expert of the series, or just knows how to create theories, or a theory crafter, like me also, you can't answer it that easily if you're just a casual enjoyer. You just read the chapters and not think anything much about it. But for us, we can create theories. But I think I know when that started. But let me tell you what led to that conclusion. What does it take for someone to like someone? Well, it's in the human nature, human psychology, but all of that. But in anime terms, or cartoons or other shows and mangas, whatever you can think of, K-dramas, I don't know, something you watch, French, something, there's a few patterns. There's always some patterns. And from my experience, there's always a trigger to trigger those emotions, like an event. So what event came to that conclusion? Well, one of the most influential arcs of the series, Rin's introduction. Wait, Rin's introduction? Am I hearing right? Yes, Rin's introduction. That triggered Urushi's feelings because chapter 69 and earlier were just, let's say she's just flattered because it's the first time she experienced something like those and she doesn't really like Ayumu as a man that much. Maybe just Ayumu playing with her feelings or something, but not intentionally, but something along those lines. And she isn't flustered because she likes him, she's flustered because she's new to the experience. Let's just leave it at that. But we can't really say that she liked Ayumu unless there's a trigger, unless there's an event. Well, there were two arcs earlier. The school trip arc, well, there were two arcs before Rin's introduction. The school festival and the cultural festival. The athletics festival and the cultural festival. But it took quite a while to get to Rin's introduction. I mean, 70 chapters later, there was a new character introduced and it's Rin. But why is Rin so important? Well, look at the context. A new female potential love interest or a candidate has appeared on the scene. And if you don't like Ayumu, if you're in Urushi's case, if you don't like Ayumu, then you won't feel jealous or all of the things that Urushi said on that arc. Especially Ayumu fighting Rin in a kendo match. Especially it wouldn't be fun without you on the club. It wouldn't matter, it doesn't matter, etc, etc, etc. I just paste the image here. And if you don't like that person, you wouldn't really say all those things. I mean, think about it. Let's use some psychology and some practical analysis. I'll leave you a few moments to think about it. But is it chapter 70, 71 or 72? No. But let's just narrow it down. Let's just remove chapter 90 and forwards. And now what? Chapter 80 and forwards. Because we're gonna focus on Rin's introduction. Well, was it 73? No. Was it 74? No. Was it 75? Well, a little trivia first. Around 48 hours or less before chapter 75 was released, that was the time when I started reading Soredemo Ayumu Yosetekuru. So chapter 75 is kind of special to me, but the more that I look at it, it really is a significant chapter. Because I just thought of making this video a few days ago. From the moment I asked this question, the first chapter that I thought of was chapter 75. After some short research, I have come to this conclusion. What do Sakura trees and Soredemo Ayumu Yosetekuru have in common? Symbolism. No, that line doesn't make sense, but why do Yamamoto Sensei like using Sakura trees on Soredemo Ayumu Yosetekuru? Because of symbolism. And if we Google, or at least you Google, the symbolism of Sakura tree, I'll leave you a few seconds to do it. You can see why. Or not yet see why, but I can explain why. What does chapter 69, 75, and 108 have in common? A Sakura tree. As you can see by this image on chapter 108, and as you can see by this GIF on chapter 69, there's a connection between Sakura trees and important feelings on this series. So on chapter 69, as you can see on a GIF of Urushi with Sakura trees falling, that is the start of Ayumu's feelings for Urushi. And as you can see on chapter 108, there's the Sakura tree. And that's the moment where Urushi realized that she likes Ayumu. What about chapter 75? Well, I think there are some few panels that can make this more convincing, but it feels like it is 2 panels short. But even without those 2 extra panels, I feel like I can quite confidently say that it is still the right answer. Well, chapter 75 was just this flower viewing party. All of the main cast gathered and they were viewing the sakura trees. Well, as Takeru and Sakurako arrived and dream challenging Takeru in a shogi match, the rest of the party left Ayumu and Urushi all alone guarding the bags. But this happened. They have a brief heart-to-heart moment, or a little heart-to-heart talk, or at least a intimate talk. Urushi thanking Ayumu, and then this happened. A sakura tree, sakura petals falling, but it blocks. But as I said earlier, there's still a few panels missing. But even without those panels, with just the right understanding, you can see that's the exact moment that Urushi really started to like Ayumu. It doesn't show on the face, but the moment tells it. That moment tells it. It doesn't show on the face, it doesn't look obvious, or because that's the reason why I said it lacks 2 more panels, because it isn't obvious. If we added some 2 more panels, at least 2 more panels of just extended moments, of just extended that moment, it could be more obvious. But I think it was somewhat intentional, but I think it is not. But that's the moment that she really liked Ayumu. That's the moment where her feelings start. That's the moment where her love for him began. It's not obvious. Love is not obvious. We do not realize it either in real life. We do not realize those feelings at first. And it isn't that obvious, but at that moment, that's where her feelings began. That is where it all started. That is where their love, or at least Urushi's love for Ayumu, starts. And she finally realizing it on chapter 108 makes it more beautiful. We do not realize how beautiful this scene was, and how Yamamoto Sensei likes using the sakura trees as a symbolism for a new beginning. Well, that pretty much sealed the deal, the sakura tree. And I hope I made a good explanation, a good enough explanation on why chapter 75 is the start, is the time when Urushi started liking Ayumu. I feel like I've missed some points, or maybe I just forgot mentioning something, but this was an ad-lib video. But if you enjoyed the video, you know what to do. And about that channel earlier, I have a secret channel, or supposedly a secret channel, but it is more of an anime clips and OVA channel. So if you subscribe to this channel, link, the name is Ayumu x Urushi, like I mean why. That would be an easier time. That would be an easier... I'll just cut it. I'm gonna beatbox as an outro. This is a brother video on the codename Project Urushi. And that's it for me today. See y'all next time. Peace and God bless you all. Peace. I love you all.